The following is a presentation of CW Sports.
Good afternoon and welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, where today the Cardinals host the NC State Wolfpack. It's chilly, not exactly baseball weather, but excited for a basketball doubleheader because later we take you to South Bend. It's chilly, but Florida State and Notre Dame both coming off midweek wins. ACC courtside Saturday on the CW.
Let's take it up a notch. Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch.
Whoa! Look out. DJ Burns. How about that?
Let's take it up a notch. Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch.
After a stunning road win down in Miami, the Louisville Cardinals are back home inside the Yum Center and excited to seek their second straight win today as they face the NC State Wolfpack. Good afternoon and thanks for starting your college basketball Saturday with us. Evan Leffler with the legendary Mike Jaminski, and we got to wonder, was Wednesday's win for the Cardinals the basketball equivalent of Haley's Comet, just a magical, momentary shooting star through the sky? Or was it the turning point for the Kenny Payne era here in Louisville?
Well, I think, Evan, at the very least, a template for them to build on for the rest of the season, a game film to go back and look at.
Well, it helps when the shots go in, and for Mike James over the past week, he has been sizzling hot from everywhere on the floor.
A holdover from last year, and they really need that offense. He's been really hot from the perimeter, especially the three-point line, well over 60% there, and a career high down in Miami. You saw the 26 points. Also gives them a very strong rebounding presence inside.
Yeah, he got off to a fantastic start in the game against Miami, and of course they closed on a 9-0 run to win against the team that went to the Final Four last year. NC State, disappointing shooting performance against North Carolina on Wednesday night, but Kevin Keatts still feels pretty good about his team, and in big moments they go to the big guy inside.
Emphasizing big DJ Burns, a massive presence inside, has excellent post moves. When double teamed, he's a very good passer to the perimeter.
We got the starting lineups, the opening tip, and the answer to that million-dollar question coming up. NC State and Louisville, ACC courtside Saturday. Here we go. Well, for the first time in a couple years, the Cardinals return home following an ACC road win. And this NC State team, with first place on the line on Wednesday night, came up just short. Starting lineup today feature a notable change for Kevin Keatts' Wolfpack. For the first time all year, DJ Horne will come off the bench. Michael O'Connell moves into the starting spot. Kenny Payne sticks with the same five he started with in the win at Miami.
DJ Horne coming off some rough shooting nights last three games, 10 of 41 from the field. Had a really tough night against North Carolina. So maybe Kevin Keatts trying to get him just a little more relaxed coming off the bench. And also, we talked to him before the game. He really was singing the praises of Mike O'Connell and what he has meant to this team.
It's his first start as a member of the Wolfpack. It's his 77th career start. O'Connell will be out there for this opening tip-off. The officials today, Ted Valentine, Tony Henderson, and Isaac Barnett. The latter of the three getting ready to toss the basketball up in the air.
NC State seeding the jump ball with Burns back. And
6'6" Dennis Parker Jr. against the 6'10" Brandon Huntley Hatfield. The day of ACC basketball is underway. Sky Clark will get things going for the Cardinals here at the KFC Yum Center. This great marvel of a venue in college basketball.
Should note that NC State is undefeated on the road so far this year, 2-0.
It's been over 20 years since they started 3-0 on the road in ACC play.
And this is going to be a great matchup to watch this afternoon inside.
Kind of an accidental kick pass to the perimeter, and Clark's three rims out. Dennis Parker Jr. up the floor quickly and pressured immediately by Hersey Miller, who creates a turnover. That's what he's out there to do, bring the energy.
You know, he got to start down in Miami. It was more of a reward from Kenny Payne with the work that he's been doing in practice, but a great rundown from behind to cause the turnover.
His first career start on Wednesday. He's only scored 11 points all season.
He really didn't play a lot of time, but was a great spark at the beginning of the game. And a win, a coach isn't going to mess around too much with the mojo.
Jaden Taylor picks up the personal. Kenny Payne off his first road win in the ACC. A moment for Louisville fans to enjoy on Wednesday night, and see if they can follow it up.
I've known Kenny for a long time. We were teammates back with the Sixers in the late 80s, and his demeanor didn't really change all that much, even with that win.
Around and out, it was halfway down, wouldn't stay for Miller.
And the thing you get with O'Connell with the ball, that's what he's a pass-first guy. He's not looking for his own offense, but the ball, he really moves the ball, and he sets up his other guys to score.
Shot clock at 12. Pass was deflected by Miller. Well, how impactful has Hersey Miller been these first 80 seconds?
And that's what, for a noon game, you need a guy like that to get the energy going early, to get everybody excited and enthused. Very active hands for him.
Good baseline inbounds, and it's Dennis Parker Jr. with a quick first step, breaking away from Jovanovic. Chance for a three-point play.
That's just a breakdown in concentration defensively. You can't allow that initial. That was just one pass for a layup and a three-point play. Great execution and a nice cut by Parker Jr.
This freshman has been a revelation to the outside world. To Kevin Keats, he's been kind of what they expected him to be. Oh, good defense by O'Connell in the backcourt. And it will be NC State ball. I'll tell you, G-Man, I thought O'Connell touched that last.
And this is not reviewable this early in the game, but this is what the free throw shooting and the good offense can do. It allows NC State to set their pressure up and to get turnovers.
Another baseline inbounds, and Casey Morsell fumbles it away. You mentioned the dynamic of the noon game as we see Kevin Keats in year 7 as the sideline commander for NC State. You talk about this a lot. You really hated noon games, didn't you?
Just for me personally, I mean, as a bigger player, it took me a while to get warmed up. I'm maybe a little groggy as a broadcaster even right now.
But basketball is very slippery through the first 2 minutes here.
Yeah, a little sloppy, and at least some dead ball turnovers right here, and. Yeah, this is nobody seems to want to get a handle of the basketball this early. But yeah, the game preparation is really compressed for a noon game.
Morsell back outside for O'Connell. To the basket, high off the glass, no good. Rebound Huntley Hatfield. Sky Clark is quick. Oh, great defense by Parker, denying at the rim. Ahead to Taylor. And a late whistle will send Jaden Taylor to the free throw line.
Well, early on, NC State is getting the whistles, and that looked like actually a pretty good block. And NC State with some good size and the look ahead. And the great thing about that pass is O'Connell waited to give Taylor that pass in stride. He didn't have to put the ball on the floor. It was a great delivery, great timing on the play. And this is an area, Louisville does a good part of their scoring at the free throw line, and it's a category I thought they had to win in this game, but so far NC State very early an advantage there.
Wolfpack 3 for 3 at the line so far. Kevin Keats talked about getting out and stopping the three-pointers, particularly thinking about James. So Clark finds some space at the elbow. Doesn't get the bounce. Rebound for NC State's Taylor.
And he felt his team not as good in full court defense this year, but very good in the half court.
Well, that's a mismatch, Clark against Burns.
And he knew it and spun an early timeout for Kenny Payne right now. They have yet to score. NC State looking very sharp. And there it is. He sees it, and just a good quick move. He knows a double team's coming and spins away from it.
What impresses you most about the big man, DJ Burns?
Well, it's just so very nimble and very quick on his feet in the half court.
Well, we got an early touchdown for the Wolfpack, and it leads right into our promo to remind you that Tuesday on Inside the NFL, nobody breaks down the games like our crew with highlights and analysis you will not find anywhere else. Super Wild Card Weekend begins today, and the main storyline is going to be the weather, I think, around the country. It's cold here in Louisville, but not as cold as it is about 7 hours and 500 miles west in Kansas City.
But that's why I loved and chose the sport of basketball. It's in this temperature-controlled arena, Evan, and I hope that the players are thawed out by Tuesday when the fellas are analyzing the games.
Inside the NFL, Tuesday, 8/7 Central on the CW. I was thinking, gee, man, the coldest basketball game you ever played in. Did the Heat ever go out in Jersey or Philly?
Actually, the coldest game my freshman year during the well, this is going to really predate you, the energy crisis in '76. We played in Pittsburgh, and they didn't turn the heat on in the arena. It was 55 in the Pittsburgh Civic Arena.
For you.
Hey, we played in our warm-ups.
How'd you play in the cold?
Not bad. Not good, but not bad. Just to tell you, Norm Nixon was a senior on that team. We played Duquesne.
So Jaden Taylor just picked up his second personal foul, so that's going to be something to monitor. 16:54 in the first half. DJ Horn coming off the bench for the Wolfpack for the first time.
And some guys react well to coming off the bench, other guys don't, and that was just blatant steal by Horn.
Trey White welcomed rudely back to the court, and the three from the corner goes for Michael O'Connell. 10-0 Pack.
Boy, and Horn just came in, that aggressive defensive play.
Trey White, his first game after missing the last three with a groin issue. He looked good in practice yesterday, but the Cardinals can't get out of their own way. They're 0 for 4 with 4 turnovers.
There's the look, and just a great find. And talk about one team looking like it's ready to play and another team not. Well, and, you know, you look, and I don't know, Kevin Keats might have found something with O'Connell out on the floor and may have to find a rotation with people around him.
Marcel attacking White. Tough turnaround, too. The Wolfpack are 4 for 5. The Cardinals are 0 for 4 with the 4 giveaways. Tyler Johnson coming off the bench with Trey White. Johnson finally gets the Cardinals on the board. Thought we were going to have a shutout here after showing the Louisville Slugger in the open.
Yeah, I know. You were going to go back to your minor league baseball calls, and
had a couple no-hitters through the years. Did he travel? Yes, he did. Ted Valentine on the call on the baseline. Well, it's a new day. Good start for DJ Burns and company on the road. ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years.
Had a great visit with Darrell Griffith yesterday before practice and during an early practice. One of the great college basketball players, had a fabulous career out of Utah, and Dr. Duncanstein from here, is back living here, and looks great. And we had a great visit, national championship with the Doctors of Dunk in 1980, Denny Crum's first national championship here. A Final Four I was one game away from getting to. We got beat by Purdue in the regional final in Rupp Arena in 1980.
How would you compare Dr. Duncanstein versus David Thompson as a dunker?
About the same. I mean, they were about similar size. I mean, you know, just amazing of what he did at his size, and you know, playing where he did. A lot of people on the East Coast didn't see a lot of him during his pro career.
Rules of gravity did not apply. Louisville gets a stop and a rebound from Trey White after the bucket from Mike James. And Johnson's entry pass looking for Caleb Glenn, negated by a reaching foul on Cam Woods.
Very much a bounce back year last year for Kevin Keats. 20-plus wins, an NCAA tournament appearance for them. He revamped his staff.
And of course, he has a history here in Louisville. Went to his favorite spot, Jeff Ruby's, for dinner last night. He's an assistant here under Rick Pitino. Traveling is the call on Parker. That's 4 turnovers for each team in the opening 5.5 minutes. And NC State's a team that typically this year has done a great job not turning the ball over.
One of the best in the country.
And second in the nation. Offensive turnover percentage. Only the Richmond, the Richmond Spiders have turned it over less.
12.6% of their turnovers, of their possessions, or turnovers.
Appreciate our dude Ken Palm compiling those numbers. James handoff for Clark. And look, Trey White was scorching hot in practice yesterday, but he hasn't carried it over to the game so far today.
Well, the first step was practice yesterday, and it was a good sign for him, and just to get him back out on the floor.
How about the effort from both teams inside? Diarra was turned away, but Middlebrooks perseveres, and free throws are coming.
And they've been happy with Ben Middlebrooks and the transfer from Clemson. Had a double-double earlier this year against Ole Miss.
He brings size, he brings strength, he brings experience.
We thought of it as a game day trade when Jack Clark went down to Clemson on the same day that Middlebrooks came up to Raleigh, and Clark hasn't played a whole lot.
NC State has won that trade through the first half of the season.
Clark unfortunately still battling the groin injury that he suffered last year.
Those can take a long time.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's tough, and they linger, and you think you've gotten past it, and you come back, and it can recur very easily.
2 for 2 at the line for the Fort Lauderdale native Ben Middlebrooks. Token full court pressure here on Tyler Johnson.
And this type of pressure may not manifest itself early, Evan, but it may, you know, as the game goes along, Louisville might get worn down by it.
Great hustle by Johnson after he nearly turned it over.
Yeah, good recovery.
The crowd is really ready to erupt after what happened on Wednesday. The Cardinals want to build on it. This would be a big bucket here. White buries the 3.
Well, you know, a possession that was really ragged and going nowhere, but saved by hustle. And really a huge confidence builder.
Horn, foot on the line, long 2, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Which actually Kenny Payne said yesterday is something they could live with. They really wanted to have they could live with long contested 2s.
Glenn, a leaping catch, surrounded by 4 defenders, and he scores anyway.
Well, that's what you want to do, attack pressure to score, not just to get by the pressure and then set up.
Tough catch by Diarra on a pass that looks like it was headed to the second row.
And you can see the offense for NC State with O'Connell out a little more ragged out there, Evan.
DJ Horn was 2 for 16 on Wednesday. He's 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, and you know, and maybe that was a good move, getting him off the bench and calming him down a little bit.
Correct myself. He's 2 for 3, but still a solid start.
Yep, and maybe, you know, also coming in and making that strong defensive play right out of the gate helped him. But there's the good look.
Reach and foul on Rice, his first. 4th on the Wolfpack here in this first half. NC State's won the last 2 games in the series against Louisville. Before that, the Cardinals had won 6 of the previous 7. Trey White comes up shooting.
Wow. That was a huge plus for getting him into the game early, but a little surprised Hunter Hatfield hasn't scored in this game yet. Really hasn't gotten any touches.
Quick shot, won't fall. Rice 0 for 1, and Louisville gradually getting
Middlebrooks,
momentum.
Yeah, Middlebrooks on the reaching foul that time. And it's, you know, it's funny, again, the noon game, it took about 7 minutes, 6 minutes for both teams to really get into a rhythm in this game.
You're right. Sky Clark's got a good head of hair, doesn't he?
What's that?
Sky Clark's got a good head of hair.
Are you envious?
I just appreciative. Oh, what a defensive play. Not good handles that time from Sky, and Casey Morcell lays it in.
Well, even this dead ball foul situation allows NC State to get in that pressure full court initially.
Already 7 points off turnovers for NC State. Morcell, the steal, and the layup. Packed by 10. He's a cop, she's a con, and together this unlikely duo makes the perfect pair. It's the CW's brand new show, and it's called Wild Cards, and it premieres this Wednesday, January 17th, 8/7 Central, right here on the CW. The Louisville mascot has often been known as a wild card.
Yeah, singular.
It's super wild card weekend with some breaking news. Steelers-Bills has been moved from Sunday to Monday due to the expected winter lake effect storm in upstate New York. It's a busy time on the sports calendar, Mike.
Big story for Louisville, the bench. Scored 9 of the 11 points so far in this game. A big lift. Trey White been huge.
Inside, Huntley Hatfield been very quiet so far. That one wouldn't stay down. Diarra pulls down the rebound.
Halfway down, and he needs to put pressure on DJ Burns, make him defend. And when he settles for a jump shot, he bails him out a little bit.
At this end of the floor, Kenny Payne was really on Huntley Hatfield in practice yesterday about how he needs to work defensively against Burns.
Deny him inside, make him force him to receive a little bit farther out.
Like this. Burns 15 feet away, clock winding down, rejected. 7/10 of a second on the shot clock.
Still enough time to catch and shoot, but that's just the length. And him coming, he actually went behind Burns. Good defensive series that time for Louisville. But see, again, they've been dead ball turnovers that NC State has had, or shot clock violations, and even with that, they can still set up in this pressure.
Ahead, it's White, 2-on-1, and he's blocked from behind by Diarra.
And that was a lazy attempt at the rim. A sloppy possession by Louisville.
And a sloppy half so far. DJ Horn around the net. Curtis Williams pulls down the rebound. Tyler Johnson. Diarra, another rebound. He's been active on the boards. And a foul with NC State bringing it up the court. Number 2 on Trey White. his return to the court may not last as long as he would have liked.
Well, and that was one that was absolutely unnecessary. And, you know, look, I get it. He's excited about being back on the court. You know, he wants to be over-aggressive in that situation, but you take yourself out of the game and out of the half by picking up that foul.
6 minutes, 5 points, 2 fouls. We'll see whether we see him again in the final 10.5 minutes of the first half. There's a three from the corner. Dennis Parker Jr. continues to make good things happen for the Pack.
Yeah, just the basic. O'Connell gets a high screen, and they stick him, Parker, over in the corner. The defense gets pulled in, and he gets a great look.
Largest lead so far. NC State up 13. Kurt Williams responds.
Kenny Payne talked about it. You know, he used to define himself by how many points he scored. And, you know, Miami, he had 5 assists in that game. He did other things, but he can shoot the basketball for sure.
Burns over Huntley Hatfield.
And he is very good at putting the ball on the floor multiple times.
And for a giant dude, a very soft touch.
Yeah, and good feet. And Burns going to get fouled.
First personal on DJ.
There's the thing, you know, and the catch, the first thing he does is look. He sees, all right, is there a double team coming? No double. Keeps his head up. It's all right, it's just me and him. And he just uses his size to create some distance for the shot. But the key was the first thing, he looks and sees how he's being played defensively.
Williams, same spot, same result.
Well, and he's a guy, for a freshman to get started quickly is really important. And for right now, for especially, you know, you got a guy like Trey White in foul trouble, for him to come in, really a big plus.
Quick answer. You can just turn off the shot clock right now. Hasn't been a factor these last few possessions. Five first half points for O'Connell. Tough step back, Morcell, nope.
And this tempo favors NC State slightly.
Did DJ just pick up his second? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So Jaden Taylor picked up his second with 16:54 to go. And now with 8:41 left in the half, Burns with 2 personals. How can Louisville take advantage of those 2 NC State starters being on the bench?
Well, you got one thing, you get a team that's smaller out on the floor for NC State. So you get Burns out. You don't have to double with Middlebrooks in there now. You don't have to worry about doubling the post, so you can stay at home at shooters. So that helps you out. And you know, maybe explore getting Huntley Hatfield some more touches down in the low block.
He's just 0 for 1 so far. 4 rebounds, but no points.
Surprisingly, Mike James only has 2 field goal attempts in the game as well.
Neither of which is a 3.
Yeah, maybe try to get him more involved in this offense.
Middlebrooks versus Huntley Hatfield. Looking to pass. O'Connell pull up.
Interesting. He's been a little bit more aggressive offensively in this game.
Second chance bucket for DJ Horn. This off the bench thing might work out.
Yeah, I was going to say that Kevin Keith may take a look at this rotation.
31 points in the first 12 minutes today for the Wolfpack. They scored 54 and 40.
Yeah, but you look at you got Morcell and Horn and Parker Jr. out there around O'Connell, and you got some scorers around him and a guy who wants to distribute.
Pack were 2 for 20 from 3 the other day, 4 for 7 today, up a dozen. (31-19) NC State leads Louisville. It has been a wild week in the college basketball universe. top 5 teams going down left and right. The common thread on the road in conference play.
Big game in Lincoln, Nebraska. Purdue does not like being #1. They've been beaten multiple times this year there. And Johnny Dawkins at UCF going in and beating Kansas. Houston going down. Rick Barnes losing to Mississippi State. So North Carolina and Duke, depending on the outcomes today, should move up into the top 10. It's been really volatile, Evan, this year. There's been a lot of movement. I don't know that there's a great dominant team out there.
And of course, it makes tons of sense that on the week where all these top teams are losing on the road, the Louisville Cardinals win on the road for the first time in 23 games.
Yeah, that's
snapping a 22 road game losing streak.
Yeah, that game could have very easily made that list, even though it didn't involve a top 5 team.
Final 4 team from a year ago. Williams had it deflected by Morcell.
And though, you know, it seems even though the turnovers are even in this game so far, which is surprising because NC State takes usually, as you mentioned earlier, takes such good care of the ball. Louisville's missed some really good scoring opportunities in the first 13 minutes.
Points off turnovers is not even. Yep. 7-2 in NC State's favor. Perhaps part of O'Connell being out there early was defensively. He's been in James's jersey throughout this first 13 minutes.
And this is what this NC State team can do in the half court. Again, it doesn't manifest itself necessarily in the first half, but the last 10 minutes of the game, teams get worn down.
Oh, he missed the front end of the 1-and-1 on the 8th team foul of the half. First on O'Connell.
And those are free throws that maybe could have gotten him into a good rhythm offensively.
Morcell pull-up 3. Rebound finds Williams.
Not necessarily a good shot in the offense early in the shot clock for him.
Bad pass by Clark. Turnover number 7 for Louisville. Morcell stepped out of bounds. It's a tough 20-second sequence for Morcell.
A couple of tough possessions for him. Early bad shot in the offense, and then running out of real estate on the baseline.
Kevin Keats, 3-3 so far in his career against Louisville as the head coach of the Wolfpack.
This is, with O'Connell against James, maybe James get the ball down low to him. He's got a size advantage right there. Good job.
The guard. Wow, he forced that one.
Well, but O'Connell did a nice job of forcing him into a tough shot. No call.
James, a long look at one of the officials, Tony Henderson, and no words exchanged, just a long glare.
No. Play on.
At the KFCM Center in Louisville.
Yeah, he's going to look at him and say, "You've got a few inches on this guy. You got to get a better shot than that. Don't look at me for any advantage."
Shot clock's down to 7. O'Connell cross court, and Kenny Payne got out of the way. Danny Manning has the basketball. Said hello to Danny before the game. That he's still enjoying the grind.
Yeah, you got 3 coaches over there with NCAA championship rings.
Danny's going to get to go back to Winston-Salem for a couple of days because Louisville's planning on staying in North Carolina after they play UNC on Wednesday, and then they got Wake on Saturday. It's a 9 o'clock game and then an early afternoon game 2.5 days later. First on Parker. 9th team foul, so another 1-and-1 here for Louisville.
And they missed the first one on the first front end of it, so that, and one of the big things for Kevin Keats that he told us before the game was to keep Louisville off the free throw line, which they've really done well. They've defended without fouling for the most part in this game, especially 2 shot fouls.
Yep. Clark 0 for 5 from the floor. His first points of the day coming here at the line. His impact late in the Miami game, that steal in 3 was a game changer. Really kind of a late dagger, even though there was plenty of time left for Jim Laranaga's squad.
Hard to believe that that squad didn't score in the last 3 minutes at home.
It was stunning. Shot clock down to 4. Cam Woods comes up short. Clark the other way. Ahead to James for 2.
Good run out, good look ahead by Clark that time, and it all starts with a solid defensive possession. Everybody compressed for NC State. They had nobody back in transition defensively. That was as good as Louisville's looked.
Mike James has made 5 threes in each of his last 2 games. He has not attempted one so far today, but that's a high percentage shot.
There's a good look at it, and those are the type of plays that gets a guy into rhythm, gets a nice easy basket like that. See if Louisville can put a little run together to close out this half.
I don't know if you heard what Kenny Payne said to Louisville radio about Mike James after the Miami game. He said, quote, "Mike James is a spirit child. His spirit propels us, not just when he's playing great, but all the time."
Yeah, and you know, and I'm sure that there's a there's a big place in Kenny Payne's heart from a guy who they lost a ton of people in the portal who bailed on last year's squad, but you know, Mike James returned. Guy came back from an Achilles injury. He's battled a lot.
Out of the timeout, Louisville shows zone.
Trying to save some guys, save some foul issues, give NC State a little bit of a different look.
Now matching up late in the shot clock. O'Connell. Diarra on the glass, called for an offensive foul.
A couple of good defensive possessions, and Mohamed Diarra, they want him to. That's what he does. He gets on the glass, but called for the push. Double bonus now for Louisville at the line.
NC State throughout the season has averaged 8.7 turnovers a game. They're sitting at 8 turnovers so far today with 4:28 to go in the first half. What's going on?
Well, the first 4 minutes for both teams was like nobody wanted to take ownership of the basketball.
Everybody was half asleep.
Yeah, it was not pretty. We apologize to the fans for that.
Caleb Glenn at the line, the hometown kid. Sinks a pair. After trailing by as many as 13, the Cardinals are back within 6.
And more importantly, the crowd is back in the game.
DJ Burns on the bench with 2 fouls, so it's inside to Middlebrooks, who powers it over the front rim.
Sky Clark got away with a little bit of a walk on that. He was kind of surprised to get the ball.
Connell again right in on James. Keeping those arms straight up. Hanging in the air. The tip won't go for Caleb Glenn.
I'll tell you what, and maybe because they established it early, but NC State is very physical with Louisville's guards, and there has not been a whistle.
And I thought they could have gotten O'Connell for a foul there on James. But they have set the standard. Letting them play. Diarra lost it. Out of bounds. State ball. 8 to shoot. And they'll have a timeout to diagram another baseline out of bounds play. 3.5 to play in half number 1. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years.
Yeah, NC State pitching a shutout in the first 2.5 innings of this game, and then Louisville got into the swing of things, and got Trey White came off the bench, started producing some offense for this club. Curtis Williams coming off the bench, which he did very well down in Miami as well. So a few storylines. The bench playing very well for Louisville.
Yeah, 3 first-half threes for the Cardinals, 2 of them from Williams. DJ Horn coming off the bench for the first time. He's got a couple threes, 8 points in 11 minutes. Middlebrooks. Yes, sir.
And you know, with Burns out of the game with some foul issues, that's some pretty good offense for Middlebrooks inside.
Only 2 points in the Carolina game. He's got a quick 6 today. Deflected into the backcourt. James pursues it legally. James against the bigger Diarra gets 2.
Really noticed the switch that time. He knew he could take him off of the dribble against O'Connell. O'Connell's been a tough matchup for him, but able to get by Diarra.
Diarra rising fire.
Well, he's taking a couple shots that I don't think are in his offensive repertoire.
Made one the other day, but I'm with you. James stripped by Middlebrooks. Loose ball collected by O'Connell. Open man is Horn. Buckets. 11 first-half points for DJ Horn in his first game coming off the bench.
Well, O'Connell just has a great sense of where his guys are and delivers them where they can get a great look at it.
James, his first look from 3, and he was fouled. Cam Woods trying to contest, yields 3 free throws.
And the line for the card, number 0, Mike James, he'll shoot 2.
Mike James going back to the line. 49 points in his last 2 ball games. Yikes. 82% from the line this year. He's missed 2 in a row, one of which was the front end of the 1-and-1.
Yeah, and that's, you know, again, you don't want to risk a guy you've held in, you know, under control, especially what he's been doing lately from the floor, and you don't want to risk getting him going at the free throw line, but he's underperformed there so far today.
That's more like it. 8 for James. NC State's lead is 10. Under 2 to play in this first half. Horn, quick shot. Knocks down another 3. He's got 14 points in the half.
What 4 of 16 game against North Carolina? You know,
2 of 16.
2 of 16. You know, they go away quickly. I mean, you know, you hit that one shot and those become a distant memory.
Tyler Johnson, the freshman from Brooklyn, with his first 2.
He did 0 of 3 from 3 in that game. So
Middlebrooks on the dive cut, surrounded, kicks it out. Morcell fouled, shooting a 3. Teams trading fouls on 3-point field goal attempts. Wow. Coming up in the Subaru halftime report, we'll hear from Tom Wormy and Jordan Fournette. We're getting ready to call Florida State Notre Dame from the Joyce Center. We also have G-Man's mid-season awards at the 15-game mark. Looking forward to that. Got my black tie all ready to go.
Yeah, this, you know, the way this season goes, I don't know how much those are those are worth. As many crazy things have happened so far, but we'll see. Carpet's ready.
Both NC State and Louisville know a little bit about red carpet. These 2 programs have combined for 5 national championships. Think about it. Over the last half century, 10% of all the national championships have been won by either NC State or Louisville. 5 of the last 50. Regardless of what the NCAA tries to vacate. I saw them win it. Wolfpack by 14. New largest lead for State. Inside Huntley Hatfield, no. Tip, yes.
And for him, he finally gets on the scoring sheet.
His first 2 of the game.
He was a huge part. Really outplayed O'Meara down in Miami in that win.
Sure did. Diarra thinks differently this time. Middlebrooks going right at Huntley Hatfield's chest. Wide left. Long rebound finds Williams. 1-on-3. And a foul. First on Morsell.
At the line for the Cards, number 1, Williams. He'll shoot 2.
Have you noticed anything different energy-wise, body language-wise, Louisville today versus Louisville on Wednesday? Because I think for the most part they've played hard. They've been a little sloppy, but both teams were sloppy with a noon start. And, you know, the shots haven't gone in like they did in the first half on Wednesday, but I feel like this game is closer than the score indicates. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, by definition, they were, you know, they've got to be feeling better about themselves, you know, coming off that win down in Miami. You know, does it change things overnight? No, you get a turnover, just a sloppy inbounds play.
Johnson doesn't get the bounce, but more free throws are coming for the Cards.
Kevin Keese is just irate, and that was just miscommunication on the inbounds in a situation where you're going to probably have the last shot of the game. And this has been, how many shots have they had, Evan, where it's just like the ball seems like it's gone halfway down and not quite in?
Huntley Hatfield's had a couple. James has had at least one. Clark.
But all that being said, I mean, you know, NC State's going to have the last possession. It's been a great bounce back game offensively for them.
Despite the turnovers.
Yeah,
44 points with 9 turnovers.
DJ Horn is already above his season average with 14 points, and that's off the bench.
Shot clock is off. O'Connell. Just a 16 foul on Louisville, so Miller picks it up, but they had one to give. Maybe he gave it a little early.
Yeah.
Caleb Glenn's returning for Kenny Payne. Doesn't want Mike James to pick up number 2. That's a smart sub.
And see that, you know, if White picked up that second foul, he is the only one who's in any kind of foul trouble for Louisville.
5 seconds. Horn has been the hot man. He missed the bunny, though. And it's out of bounds to Louisville with 1.3 to go. Does Kenny Payne get Mike James back in the game through this last 1.3? Doesn't look like James is headed to the scorer's table. So it'll be Clark inbounding. Johnson, the closest Cardinal. Looking near midcourt. No, James did come back. James is out there, excuse me.
You got to throw a long pass going toward the basket.
Yeah, just don't turn it over here. And the first half comes to an uninspiring end. But pretty intriguing 20 minutes of hoops. NC State trying to improve to 3-0 on the ACC road for the first time in over 2 decades. Louisville looking for their second straight ACC win for the first time in more than 2 years. It's a 9-point game at halftime here on an ACC courtside Saturday on the CW. This is the Subaru Halftime Report brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Inside the KFC Yum Center, we got a 9-point game, 44-35 to be specific. Evan Lepler back with you courtside. It is a doubleheader day here on the CW. 14 out of 15 Saturdays from December to mid-March. ACC basketball doubleheaders, and an interesting game here. NC State jumped out 12-0, but Louisville certainly battled back. Tom, thanks so much. A winter wonderland in South Bend. Looking forward to that. Second half from Louisville coming up. 44-35 is the halftime score. It's always a good idea to save some for later. We got more basketball coming up, and that young man will have more cotton candy coming up, hopefully, later. Biggest stars will be gathering at the 29th Annual Critics' Choice Awards, hosted by Chelsea Handler. That is tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on the CW. Award season is very much here on the CW. Evan Leffler back with a guy who's won just a few awards in his day. Mike Jaminski, ACC Freshman of the Year. No, you couldn't play as a freshman.
No, I could play as a freshman.
That's
Evan,
right.
So
lot of awards in your day, but now it is your turn to bestow awards. So put on your finest. Let us know your mid-season ACC awards.
Well, it is emphasis on mid-season award. Norshad Amir. I mean, you know, Wooga Poplar is the most improved on that team, but he also has been the cornerstone. Freshman of the Year, Bayan Dongo, he has been fabulous. And Coach of the Year, I'm going to go with Hubert Davis. I mean, that team is playing as well as anybody in the conference. They're going to move into the top 10 probably this year. But you look at Norshad Amir, undersized in a league that has a lot of bigs, a lot of good bigs this year, averaging just under double figures rebounding. He's offensive rebounding a game. Double-double for him is a nightly occurrence. And for Georgia Tech, Dongo really had his coming out party against Duke earlier. Their first game, they had a win against Duke down at Georgia Tech, and he has been really consistent all year long.
And Dongo currently 4th in the league in rebounds per game. Amir 7th in scoring, 3rd in rebounding. This has been the Subaru Halftime Report. Back with you on the Subaru Halftime Report. 44-35, NC State leads. Evan and the G-Man welcoming you back courtside, and I don't think it's fair to say neither team played a perfect game in the first half. Too many turnovers for NC State. They give a lot of free throws late in the half, and yet they have a 9-point lead. How is Kevin Keats feeling right now?
Well, offensively, I'm sure he's feeling great. They scored 54 points in the game against North Carolina. They're sitting with 44 right now in the first half, shooting almost 50% from the floor. Much better from the three-point line.
Subaru halftime stats. Leading scorer for the Wolfpack did not start, but DJ Horn off the bench. That's a role that maybe he will meld into quite nicely.
But, you know, guys get wrapped around the axle about starting. He played 14 minutes in the first half, scored 14 points. I mean, it's who finishes rather than who starts.
And certainly O'Connell's defense did a nice job on James. This has been the Subaru Halftime Report. Second half coming up after the break. It's the 27th all-time meeting between NC State and Louisville. The series dates all the way back to 1949. The first meeting was a 72-71 win for Louisville 75 years ago yesterday. And no, Mike Jaminski did not call that game. I think it was Brando and Bonner, but I'm not sure.
And Bonner drove, so no question about that. But you know, it's interesting. 1980, in their first national championship, they were in the Metro Conference. I was, we're talking to Darrell Griffith about that, talking about their moves around, and eventually here to the ACC.
First shot of the second half, a missed three from DJ Horn.
So I was curious to see whether he would start the second half or not. So that question answered. Kind of like the team, the way it ran with O'Connell out on the floor.
Williams misses over Burns, and Taylor hasn't played for a while. Rises up for the rebound. Jaden Taylor left the game after 3 minutes and 6 seconds with his second foul, and NC State into double digits in the turnover department. What is going on today?
Well, and that one had nothing to do with the defense. That was just a careless pass. You see the look of consternation on Keats' face.
That is well characterized, Mike.
And boy, that was almost a 5-second count there, because they double teamed Sky Clark and nobody else was back for the Cardinals.
Curtis Williams starting the second half. James on the runner. It won't stay down for him.
Boy, he has had no easy looks at the basket to this point.
Hanging in the air, Jaden Taylor with his first field goal of the day.
Big one for him. He had some issues getting into this game. Two personal fouls really wasn't a factor in that first half.
Caleb Glenn also starting in the second half. Huntley Hatfield surrounded by red. He's comfortable with that.
Need to get him going. Good to see him score in close. They also want to see if they could put some pressure on DJ Burns, maybe get the third foul on him early in the second half.
I mean, the fact that Louisville is within 9 and Huntley Hatfield has 4 and Clark has 2.
I think it's more due to the uncharacteristic turnovers that NC State has had in this game.
Wow, that pass drilled the rim, and then the entry feed easily intercepted by Glenn.
And normally Burns, an excellent passer out of the post.
Jair Alexander there soaring in for the pick. Huntley Hatfield short, stays with it. Glenn over to James. Into the lane, tough shot, goes!
And those were the shots that weren't going in the first half. That one hit the rim about 4 times before it went down.
Cardinals back within 7.
I'll give this noontime crowd a lot of credit today. They've really been looking to get into this game.
On a frigid day here in Kentucky. Not much warmer than it is in South Bend. Maybe a degree or 2. Morcell missed it. Huntley Hatfield the rebound. Clark falling down to the corner for 3. First of the day for James. 4-point game.
Well, and credit Williams, and we talked about Kenny Payne, give him an assist, and rather than try to make an aggressive shot contested, he gave it up for a better look.
Taylor misfires. You surprised Kevin Keats didn't call a timeout there, Mike?
Yeah, I think he's trying to wait, maybe get a stop on this possession. If they score, he may be forced to take one here.
Huntley Hatfield going at Burns. Yes, indeed. Timeout, NC State.
Here's the look. We talk about it. The basketball going in the second half for Louisville, and here's the extra pass. Great look at the 3 from the corner.
9-0 run. Cardinals within 2. NC State 46, Louisville 44. The Cardinals were down 12-0 out to shoot, but they are neck and neck with the visiting Wolfpack here with lots of time to go on an ACC courtside Saturday. After this one concludes, we'll take you to Purcell Pavilion. The Florida State Seminoles knocked off Wake Forest. Earlier this week, Notre Dame got a road win at Georgia Tech. G-Man, one of the interesting quirks of our doubleheader today is 3 of the 4 head coaches in our doubleheader, their son plays for the team. KJ Keats Zan Payne, and of course Braden Shrewsbury coming off his best game yet as a member of the Fighting Irish.
And I would think that a lot of people would agree that Micah Shrewsbury and his Irish are overachieving this year, well, at least what most people expect.
Well, we got to do something about this rule in college basketball because we have a timeout just north of 16, and now we get a whistle. So we promise we'll be right back, and then we're really heating things up here in Louisville. It's a lively atmosphere here at the KFC Yum Center on the edge of the Ohio River in downtown Louisville. That guy wore his best shades to the game, so he expected to see great effort.
And see, you know, Evan, it may not seem like a big thing, but Kevin Keats had to burn a timeout.
Yeah?
Above the 16-minute media timeout, and that may be a factor later on in this game. He was like 10 seconds away from getting under that 16-minute mark.
It was a 9-0 run that prompted Keats to halt play. Wolfpack still have 2 timeouts left.
You know, NC State gets a stop on that last possession. You know, he doesn't have to do that.
Tough shot, turnaround fadeaway by Casey Morsell.
And Morsell had a tough 4 minutes up to that stretch to start the second half. So a good basket for him coming out of the timeout.
At this end of the floor, Cardinals have hit their last 3 shots. Huntley Hatfield sets the screen. Clark circles the wagons. The big man with a hyphenated last name battling Middlebrooks, and before the shot, Middlebrooks whistled for his second personal foul.
But see, Middlebrooks can be in there, and he can give up some fouls. He can be physical with Huntley Hatfield. You know, they can throw 3 guys at him. They can throw DR at him for a stretch.
Kenny Payne knows how important Huntley Hatfield is. He said yesterday he's a vital piece to everything we do. Both ends of the floor. Back to the big man. That's the 3rd foul on Middlebrooks. And a 3-point play opportunity for Brandon Huntley Hatfield.
Well, when you're a big guy and you face up that close to the basket, it's tough. Fake to the baseline, clears himself up. No double team help coming. Middlebrooks kind of on an island by himself there.
Take me in the mind of the big man defender there.
It's tough. I mean, you know, when he's got the whole side isolated. He went to his left hand, which was his offhand, which is where you want to try to force him. Doesn't get the 3-point play.
And the offensive player initiates the contact.
Yep. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a bad defensive play on the part of Middlebrooks, but you can't foul him in that situation.
O'Connell turned away, back outside Horn, and he was bumped. First on Clark. Shot clock back to 20. 5:20 gone here in the second half. Just had a feeling things were not going to be easy today for NC State on the road. Even up 12-0 in the opening minutes, but Morsell starting to warm up. He's into double figures now with 11.
Second underneath out of bounds play that was really easy, too easy for NC State. Just a quick pass, and Morsell very strong inside.
Clark beats O'Connell off the dribble, going glass for 2.
Little hesitation move that time. Got O'Connell to straighten up defensively.
First field goal for Sky. Teams trading baskets. Diarra inside for Middlebrooks. And before the shot, they got Huntley Hatfield. That's his first.
You know, watch this. This is a pass you shouldn't be able to receive. Just right here, he muscles inside, especially James, a bigger guy. And just a good take right there. I mean, he goes left, but he finishes right. But no shot blocking in there.
Another baseline out of bounds to defend.
Yeah,
Louisville does a better job.
Yeah, at least they force it out toward the half court.
Morcell, short. James the rebound. Clark to the corner for the lead. Morcell rebounds, the Williams miss, but a travel in transition, Louisville ball.
I tell you what, he's being aggressive. Morcell coming out of the game. They got to find a way to reignite DJ Horn. He has not gotten many touches early in this second half. He's looking a little frustrated out on the floor.
And they went to Horn in the first possession of the half. He missed. Lazy pass there. Diarra, the steal, and the score.
That was a nice defensive play and finish by Diarra.
Teams trading turnovers the last two possessions. Huntley Hatfield fouled by Diarra. Fouls are piling up here. Over 3.5.
Yeah, both teams sitting with 3 team fouls.
It's number 3 for Diarra. Middlebrooks has 3. Burns has 2. For Louisville, Trey White has 2. No one else with multiple fouls.
Well, NC State is in a better position with their bigs to burn fouls.
Middlebrooks may have just picked up number 4. No, they're going to give it to Horn. Rare to see DJ Burns not talking. He loves to chirp, not necessarily talking trash. He's just a chatty dude.
And this is, he's going to coming back in the game right now, but so far, in practice yesterday, Louisville was really working. So far that has not been a factor with Burns and getting easy baskets in transition. Let's see if that plays a role here with Burns on the floor.
There have not been a ton of moments to cheer for the past season or so here in Louisville, but the fans sensing that perhaps the tide is turning. Jaden Taylor missed the 3, long rebound, tracked by White. Going right at Taylor. Trey White ties the game.
Well, you talked about it. They did 5 possessions yesterday with his group. Kenny Payne drew up 5 plays for White, and he looked very comfortable.
Oh, that was blocked into the basket by Huntley Hatfield. Diarra will get credit for the 2. Wow. Huntley Hatfield couldn't do that again if he tried.
But that's what they want Diarra to do, at least be around the rim.
Tough pass, Clark to the corner. Williams puts the Cardinals in front. First lead of the day.
The corner 3 has been really kind to Louisville. Either side.
Burns kicks it. O'Connell sticks it. With ice in his veins.
Wow. Only 7 of 28 from 3 coming in on the season. Not really a shot he's been looking for.
3 for 23 in his last 14 games from beyond the arc. Huntley Hatfield, nope.
Like I said, he's been settling for the jump shot against Burns.
A beautiful pass, up and under. Horn doesn't finish.
Well, but Huntley Hatfield enough challenge there to make him try a difficult shot.
Clark draws the foul on Taylor, number 3 on Jaden. Called on the pass. It'll be Louisville ball when we come back. 10:47 to go. Interesting ball game here in Kentucky. Well, coming up about 2:15 Eastern Time. South Bend, Indiana, blanketed in snow. Braden Shrewsbury coming off his best game of the year in the overtime win Tuesday in Atlanta. Braden, the freshman coach's kid, had 25 points, made 5 threes. Try to keep it rolling for the Irish against Leonard Hamilton's Seminoles. And of course, we'll have ACC women's basketball for you on Sunday. Katie Meyer's Hurricanes heading to face the most talented freshman in the ACC in Hannah Hidalgo. That's a noon Eastern tip.
You know, it's interesting that it's the first time that Micah Shrewsbury has ever coached his son at any level. And, you know, he would have gone to Penn State, obviously, but came along in the move to South Bend. Seems to be
there's a lot of pressure
activated
as a coach's kid.
Yeah, and he said he's really enjoying it. Micah said he's really enjoying coaching his son, and you know, we saw it with Jim Boeheim and with Buddy and Jimmy, and you know, how that played out. But that is not an easy thing.
Going to break, you saw Kenny Payne lecturing Brandon Huntley Hatfield. He didn't settle. He didn't get the call either.
But that was the chat. That's what it was about. Not settling for jump shots and going at Burns. They've been doubling on the dribble.
Oh, Burns fouled from behind. He's upset he didn't make the bucket.
Well, here's what Kenny Payne is going to be upset about now. The double team is coming from the top, and what Huntley Hatfield has got to do is take away the baseline, and that's exactly where Burns spun to.
Quiet day so far for DJ Burns by his standards. 4 points, 1 rebound in just 15 minutes. As we shift toward the fourth quarter of this game, give me the key for each team to get this victory today in your mind.
Well, you know, for NC State, you know, getting DJ Horn re-involved, I think, is going to be a big key, and also getting some turnovers and turning them into points, something that State has not done. Getting easy baskets, fast break points. And Louisville, again, I think, you know, they're sitting right now at NC State with 5 fouls to get into the bonus as quickly as they can and make the free throw line an ally for them.
Under 10 minutes here in the second half. Williams, 3.
That helps.
Curtis Williams, 4 for 6 from downtown here today. To answer, that's a big shot for DJ Horn.
Yeah, I mean, to not have gone back to him earlier, I mean, those were his first points in the second half.
Huntley Hatfield comes up empty again. Horn now 5 of 8 from 3. Back outside for O'Connell. Burns. Back in Huntley Hatfield down in the short corner. That's nice.
Yep.
I mean, you just tip your cap at that shot.
He's got great feet, really a soft touch.
Louisville's going to earn their 17th and 18th free throw attempts of the ball game. They average better than 23 free throw attempts a game.
Well, and the important thing, too, is that you're getting 2 free throws out of this and 1 more and you get into the bonus.
And it's the 4th foul on Mohamed Diarra.
So, yeah, but again, for the bigger guys for State, you've got some fouls to burn there.
NC State, 13 of their 15 games this year has had fewer turnovers than their opponent. That is not the case today. 12 turnovers for Kevin Keats' team, just 9 for Louisville. Back to a three-point game.
And if that was one of the big lessons if they took away from Miami is the turnovers. They had only 12 in that game, and they had 4 in the first 4 minutes. So, value of the basketball is huge for this team.
Well, entering Wednesday night, NC State was 3-0. They had a home game against Carolina and this road game against Louisville. And when that game began, this Louisville Cardinals hadn't won an ACC road game in 2 years.
Now it's interesting. Now you got Caleb Glenn at 6'6", who's really the backup who plays behind Hundley Hatfield. He's guarding DJ Burns.
Trying to guard DJ Burns.
He disappears when he's behind him.
DJ's something of a human eclipse. Parker, no. Burns, yes.
Yeah, he just kind of willed him under the basket. He's got an easy offensive rebound.
Good luck, Caleb. You're a freshman. Go block out DJ Burns. Tyler Johnson. Important step back bucket for the Cardinals.
Another thing too, you look at, you asked about the change. Really, this Louisville team playing with confidence in the last 8 minutes of this game.
Open look, O'Connell makes the Cardinals pay for the double team.
8 threes coming in on the year, his second one of the game.
Then he was just 3 for 23 from beyond the arc his last 14 games before today. Johnson fouled. Number 4 on Jaden Taylor. NC State jumped out to a 12-0 lead in the opening minutes, but the Cardinals have fought their way back, hanging around. 7:26 to play. ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Fresh Pet. It's not dog food, it's food. Well, we are getting into the late innings today here at the KFC Yum Center. A lively atmosphere as this Cardinals fan base desperate for success. Currently a 6-point deficit. Louisville does have a couple free throws here out of the timeout.
And we'll be shooting in the bonus for the rest of the game. So that's good news. And this Louisville team, a very good free throw shooting team. They've left a couple at the line, including a front end one-on-one earlier.
Tyler Johnson came off the bench again today. Started 5 games in a row before coming off the bench against Miami, but he's making progress. 8 points against the Hurricanes. Johnson, 9 points so far today.
For Louisville, James is rolling. He looks to be headed toward another 20-plus game, and Williams has been fabulous. They need to get Hundley Hatfield consistent. 4 of 10 shooting. He's had some decent looks.
That's Louisville basketball. We have seen spectacular effort at times from Louisville today defensively.
Yeah, just a little token pressure, but Johnson, long arms, bothering that cross-court pass.
James working on Morcell.
And trying to post him up.
Shot clock winding down. Clark going baseline. Over the backboard. There was a non-zero chance that it was going to bounce 3 times on the backboard and fall in, but it went the other way.
And in case you're wondering, at home, statistically, that is counted as a team rebound.
Did you try to bribe the scorekeepers to get those counted your way? There's a big 3 for TJ Horn. He's got 20 off the bench today for the Pack.
Yeah, he's been a point a minute in this game, just about. Great production for him. Yeah, I always threw my hand up just in case the scorer didn't get a good look at who had the rebound. Why not?
I got it. He knocked it out of my hand.
Yeah, right.
See? 20 for Horn. Huntley Hatfield gives it to White. First came back after missing 3 with a groin injury. White, little shimmy, air ball. This is a key defensive possession here for the Cardinals. NC State trying to recreate some separation, and that's a good way to do it. Pick and roll, DJ Burns extends the lead to 9, and Kenny Payne wants to talk.
And Burns is really laboring on that play, kind of set a high screen and then just walked into that layup.
You said it earlier, Mike, how Kenny Payne's demeanor didn't really change after Wednesday's game. Obviously, he felt good. But, you know, we've been around him a bunch over the past couple years. He's been tremendously positive in the face of the adversity.
A lot of pressure. I mean, this is a very proud program and a very impatient fan base, you know, for better or for worse. And this schedule, the next 4 games are against the top teams in the league.
What about the big 4 from North Carolina?
Yeah,
being the
Tobacco Road, and then, oh yeah, well,
he had to come home.
And Clemson, and then, well, Virginia is, you got to figure, is going to be better as the year goes around. Clemson was the talk of the league earlier. They've hit a skid here lately.
Yeah, the Tigers are going to drop out of the top 25, you would think. Interesting game. Starting at 2 o'clock as well, Wake and Virginia.
You talked about this is a critical offensive possession for the Cardinals.
Seminoles fighting Irish. About 25 minutes from now, as soon as we're done here at the Yum Center. Some confusion with the officials. It was a timeout after the bucket from Burns, so Louisville should be able to run the baseline. Don't forget, the biggest stars will gather at the 29th annual Critics' Choice Awards, hosted by hosted by Chelsea Handler tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the CW. You turned them down, so they got Chelsea.
You mentioned my awards. I had more than my share of critics over the years.
That's a rough sequence for the Cardinals. A turnover and then a DJ Horn driving layup.
You know, I think, and you know, plenty of game left here, but I think the question is going to be whether, you know, DJ Horn is the guy who continues to come off the bench. Now he's in this game when we look at the score, he's going to play starter minutes. And again, I think guys, sometimes they let their pride get in the way about starting. There's, you know, a big deal about it, but he's going to look at the numbers at the end and say, this isn't so bad.
Curtis Williams gave Louisville the 55-54 lead with 11:55 to go. Williams then hit a 3 to tie it at 58. Since then, NC State has reasserted itself.
And this is where, and at the free throw line is where Louisville could carve their way back into it, to slow the game down if they could get some, you know, critical stops here. Locking in on Horn is going to be huge.
Burns stays with a dribble. Tough shot. Won't fall. James the rebound.
Yeah, they had to stay at home. They let him play one-on-one defensively. He did a nice job.
A beautiful hesitation, but Johnson can't spin it home. Rebound last touched by NC State. It'll stay Louisville ball. Johnson was able to spin that home, it would have matched his career high of 14 points. Not an easy shot.
Well, but Morcell and he came over, bothered the shot, and forced him to go underneath and make it a more difficult finish.
Cardinals nearly 3 minutes since their last field goal. As we tick under 5 minutes to play. NC State's ratcheted up the defense, there's no question. Williams, tough shot over Morcell anyway.
Open shots, tough shot. Well, you know, now his confidence is to the point where those tough shots are makeable for him.
Williams one shy of his career best. He scored 16 against Pepperdine back in December.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see 20 points broken for him as the season unfolds.
No, he can play. 19-year-old from Detroit.
You know, and we talk about the physicality of this game, and NC State established that with their guard play, and it's carried through this game, and it's been very physical, and the referees have let them play on.
How much comment do you give O'Connell for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been across the board, really, but they established that early on.
That's excellent poise from a guy playing his 133rd college basketball game. Morcell now with 13. Huntley Hatfield, Louisville needs it, and Middlebrooks just picked up his 4th foul. Yeah, the 3rd member of the pack with 4 personals.
Yeah, but when Burns is out, he's got to feel like he's fighting against somebody 4 weight divisions lower.
Keeman, I ask you this kindly. Who is the biggest dude you ever had to bang with on the block?
I mean, Artis Gilmore, probably one of the strongest guys. Bob Lanier. I mean, there were Wes Unseld. There were some big ones. There were some big guys roaming the earth back then.
What was Lambier like to go one-on-one against?
You know, he was strong. He was a big guy.
Was he dirty?
Jeff Ruhlin wasn't exactly soft.
Under 4 minutes we go. Shot clock down to 7. Burns, quadruple team, nice pass, Parker fouled. That's DJ's superpower, is his vision out of the double, triple, or quadruple teams. Final immediate timeout. Wolfpack by 8, 3:44 left. Let's take one more look at our Pacific Life game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. Mike?
Yeah, Louisville really made a nice run at the start of the second half. They came out knocking down some threes.
You don't often highlight a 69-65 run over the past 32 minutes.
Well, but when it comes on the heels of a 12-0 start, right. I mean, that makes a difference. But, you know, here's the thing, and this is where NC State's size, more than anything, I mean, you look at the combination of Middlebrooks, Diarra, and Burns. They've combined for 21 points and 15 rebounds. And they've had 13 fouls to throw at Huntley Hatfield. So, you know, you put that position together and all that fire, you know, they've been able to wear that down and more than offset his production.
There's no question this has been the game to watch in the early window in the ACC. Carolina's up 30-something on Syracuse at the Dean Dome.
And that being said, this game far from over.
Yep. Well, Louisville used a 9-0 run to close out Wednesday's win at Coral Gables.
Yep, Curtis Williams has been fabulous coming back, and Trey White has been good in his return.
Evan along with the G-Man with you. O'Connell, the long rebound. Ahead, Horn. It's a wise, good slowdown.
Didn't have anybody inside for offensive rebounding. Waited for some red jerseys to join him.
He was also really close to the NC State bench, so Keats could have just dragged him off the floor.
Third base coach had the hold sign up.
Diarra later in the shot clock puts it in.
Yeah, and they want him shooting a little bit closer to the basket, not those threes that he launched earlier.
6 points, 9 rebounds for Diarra. An effective 16 minutes and counting for him. Johnson can't finish with a left hand. Huntley Hatfield stays with it. Clark's had a relatively quiet offensive day. He stayed doing the job on the glass.
He had James wide open in the corner for a three.
Clark's now 1 for 8, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists.
And this is where that wear down factor may be kicking in for NC State. Louisville looking a little tired.
Burns backing down, spinning, scoring. NC State in control here with 2 1/4 left. Clark needs it, got it. Back to an 11-point game. Cardinals are going to need more possessions like that in the next 2 minutes to have a chance.
Well, more stops like that.
Johnson, the steal and the slam. And just like that, it's back to 9. Technically a 3-possession game. Season high, 14 turnovers for NC State. How much credit do you give Louisville's defense?
Yeah, no, they've been active with their hands. They've gotten some turnover, especially that one to get a live ball turnover turned into points.
10 to shoot. Burns at the 3-point arc. Diarra tips the rebound, but White has it. Can the Cardinals keep this thing rolling?
Kind of interesting. There were some people leaving their seats who are now lingering up on the concourse.
Huntley Hatfield, yes. And just like that, the 14-point deficit has been sliced in half, and it's an offensive foul on O'Connell before the ball's inbounded. Do not go anywhere, folks. Wow. Timeout, Kenny Payne. 66 seconds left. And those Cardinal fans are ready to rejoice. Let's take a look at our key play brought to you by Hilton. Hilton for the stay. DJ Horn has been the key guy off the bench for the Wolfpack today.
No question that he responded well. Didn't start for the first time, and but he picked up. He made a key defensive play early on, but then knocking down shots. He has been solid. 8 of 13, 6 of 9, coming off the 2 of 16 performance against the Tar Heels.
Wonder how many wackos we'll see at football games shirtless later today or tonight. It is not a hypothermia-ridden cold here inside the climate-controlled KFC Yum Center. It's a 7-0 run for the Cardinals in the last 63 seconds. And it looked like NC State had put this thing away. Clark kicks it. James blocked, but he stays with it. To the basket, plus the foul! What is happening?
And that's I can't believe O'Connell blocked that shot to begin with. James staying after it. And that's the 5th on Middlebrooks.
O'Connell doesn't get an assist for that, does he?
I mean, that's a tough play, but what a play by James. Wow, this has been an astounding turn of events.
Middlebrooks' day is done. 6 points, 4 rebounds in 16 minutes. In and out. Huntley Hatfield tips the rebound. White dives on top. The arrow belongs to the Cardinals. Kenny Payne couldn't have drawn that miss up any better. This is why you stay till the end of the game, G-Man.
Yeah, there are people who stopped and are now watching from up in the concourse, not in their seats.
With 2:09 left, NC State led by 14. Huntley Hatfield over Burns. It's a 3-point game. Can you believe it? Very few Cardinals fans in their seats right now. Burns pounding the dribble. Spinning, poked away. 12 to shoot. 34 in the game.
Yeah, no double team coming that time. Louisville staying home on all the shooters.
We've seen the Wolfpack have some easy buckets on baseline inbounds today. May have missed Horn under the hoop. DJ Horn with a left hand gets it to go. And what's the foul? What a huge shot from the grad student.
He has been amazing this afternoon with his off. And this is defensively, this is what you want to do. Make him go to his offhand. Big time finish in the crowd.
Horn's got 24. His high as a Wolfpack was the Detroit Mercy game, and he scored 26. Only 28 points in his last 3 games since that Detroit contest. It's safe to say he has broken out of his shooting slump today. 3-point play puts the Pack up 6 with 31.2 left.
Pack's up. They're going to apply some just token pressure, try to run some, just run a little time off. No fouls here.
Last touched by NC State, so says Isaac Barnett. Kevin Keats is begging for a replay review. Ted Valentine's waving him back. The reaction of the Wolfpack defender seemed to make it look like it may have been off Louisville. Sky Clark needs it, puts it in! Next foul will be 1-1. Cardinals need to foul at some point.
They got to foul quick. They let valuable time go off the clock.
You could go for a 10-second count in the backcourt theoretically, but you get the foul with 14.6 left.
Okay, and it's not the double bonus, so 1-1.
It hasn't been a great offensive day for Clark, but he's had a couple gigantic makes from beyond the arc these last couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good 7 seconds run off the clock.
DJ Horn.
75.
Clutch. Louisville with just 1 timeout remaining. Timeout or no timeout, Cardinals are going to need to hurry. Wolfpack by 5. Kenny Payne chooses to use his last timeout. 14.6 to go, and DJ Horn's got a new career high as a member of the Wolfpack. Best performance ever came earlier in his career back in Illinois State against Northern Iowa. At 34.
Still, it was
our player of the game brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save on your auto, home, and motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com.
Yeah, DJ Horn, no question about it. Just an amazing performance off the bench. 9 of 14, 6 of 9 from 3, perfect from the line. Also 3 assists for him to go along with a rebound. Outstanding effort. Coming back home to Raleigh.
It's not about who starts, it's about who finishes. He's played 34 minutes. NC State can hang on here. They'll be 4-1 in the league. Their next 2 games are at home. Tuesday against Wake Forest.
And in the league this year, road wins are going to be like gold. Yeah. So coming off a tough home loss like they did against North Carolina, to pick up a 3rd road win is going to be huge.
Don't forget, coming up, Jameer Watkins, Baba Miller, and the rest of the Seminoles are at the Joyce Center. Seminoles trying to keep it rolling. Slow start to the year, but Leonard Hamilton said on Monday he's got his depth back. He's got his rotations figured out.
Line changes. 10 guys.
NC State 14.6 seconds away from a trip to an ice cream shop here in Louisville, Kentucky. Clark to Johnson, needs to hurry. With 6 seconds, he fires and misses, and Diarra has the rebound, and that will do it. Ten rebounds for Diarra. Valiant effort from Louisville coming back here.
14 points down with 2 minutes to go.
Cut it to 3.
Yep.
But now the fans are genuinely headed for the exits on a cold day here in the Derby City. 1-1. Diarra sinks it.
Really solid production out of their big players up front. Did what they had to do. DJ Horn, really nice bounce back from a game against North Carolina.
Louisville wins on Wednesday with a stunning victory at Miami, but cannot make it 2 in a row. A couple good friends, Kenny Payne and Kevin Keats, shake hands midcourt. Final score, NC State 89, Louisville 83. So the Wolfpack are 3-0 in ACC road games for the first time since the 01-02 season under Herb Sendek.
Yeah, like I said, it was they started off quickly 12-0. Offensively, this is maybe one of their best offensive games of the year. More like the Virginia game they played. They had a couple of 50-point games around that. They won the game against Notre Dame, but yeah, who knows? I'd like to see them maybe find a way to keep O'Connell on the floor a little bit more. I like the way the offense runs when he's out there. It lets their scorers be their scorer. He's a tough defensive player.
How about this stat, G-Man? Each team got 40 points from their bench today.
Yeah, no, and a lot of that bench play, or a lot of that bench scoring is Horn coming off the bench. But to me, it'll be fascinating going forward if that's something that Kevin Keats sticks with.
You saw Wake Forest win in overtime last Saturday from basically the same perspective that you just watched NC State this Saturday. Deacons and Wolfpack meet Tuesday night. What do you make of that matchup?
Yeah, well, you got size against size. I mean, Wake Forest has got the bigs to match up front. It's going to be a good battle there. A lot of firepower on both sides. I think it's a game again that the NC State has been, they've been scoring in the 50s. They've been scoring in the 80s. They're going to have to bring their high-scoring team in that game.
And what about Louisville? The road does not get easy. At Carolina, at Wake, home for Duke, home for Virginia, at Clemson the next 5.
Yeah, guys, just keep watching that Miami game film. Keep positive, and I saw a lot in that last 2 minutes. Great response. Coming back in this game.
5 Cardinals finished the game in double figures, led by Mike James, is 20. But DJ Horn's 27 off the bench, including 6 threes, proved to be the difference. DJ Burns, Casey Morsell each scored 13, and Michael O'Connell 11 points, 6 assists, 31 minutes in his first start as a member of the NC State Wolfpack. We thank you for watching ACC Courtside Saturday on the CW. Once again, our final score from Louisville. The NC State Wolfpack wins it 89-83. Coming up next, Florida State and Notre Dame from snowy South Bend. For Mike Jaminski and our entire crew, I'm Evan Leffler saying so long from the Yum Center. Tom, thank you. NC State victorious on the road here inside the Yum Center today by a final of 89-83. Back courtside with the G-Man. The Wolfpack were far from perfect today. Season high 15 turnovers, but they mixed some things up. DJ Horn came off the bench for the first time this year. It worked out pretty nicely.
No, it did, and he really came in, made a strong impact defensively early, and then caught fire. Really bounced back from a poor performance against North Carolina, but had an awesome afternoon today.
Phenomenal start. NC State was up 12-0. Give Louisville credit. They battled back, but Michael O'Connell gave him a spark in the starting lineup.
No, he really did. He's a pass-first point guard and really gave him a nice look. And then Louisville, to their credit, they had nice momentum coming off that game against Miami. James has been fabulous. Another 20-point game for him. And then, you know, Trey White made a return off of his injuries. A nice lift in the first half, but then, of course, O'Connell knocking down some threes in this game as well.
And White gave Louisville the lead. O'Connell took it back, and DJ Horn was the closer. NC State victorious by 6. Horn scored 27.